Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
What are your thoughts around investing time or utilizing time or managing time? This is literally all I know about it, but
that's fair, man. Yeah, totally.
What's behind that or down that trail?
Well, the reason that it's massively important to me is because I did a lot of the whole like Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Bud Tarski, like time things, learning about space-time continuum, black holes, time travel, all the good stuff. And man, I just came up with so many interesting beliefs about time. Example, have you ever heard the term life is short? Mm-hmm. What an interesting belief. You know, that's such a crazy, cool belief that people have. Like, is life short? Because I'm pretty sure it's the longest thing we'll ever consciously experience. You know, I mean, hello.
Yeah.
It's very long. It's the longest thing you'll ever have. But when you dream or when you sleep, why does it feel like nothing has happened? Like you wake up, you're like, oh my gosh, like did I even sleep? And you're like, yeah, that was 8 hours. The component of what we think about time changes our entire life. The way we value time, the way we understand time, the way we manipulate time, because time can be manipulated. Like we can create in our mind a certain destination of where we're going. Like right now, I literally have no idea how long we've been doing this recording so far. No clue. I can guess. But when you do something amazing that you love and enjoy, time passes so slowly. But yet on the outside world, it's faster. Rocket ships, all the cool stuff with time. The reason I'm bringing it up and the reason I'm passionate about it, one of the biggest excuses that I get about the stock market is...
don't have time. I mean, I said it. I think I said it twice so far.
I don't know if you said the exact term, but it's irrelevant.
I actually didn't say time.
Exactly.
I said focus, which, yeah, that's a different thing.
But hey, you didn't say it because I would have been like, writing that down.
Yep.
But when people say I don't have a time, that's such an interesting, again, very, very fascinating belief. Because my answer is, well, then what do you have? Mm-hmm. If you don't have time, what do you have? Mm-hmm. Because it comes down to priorities. Do you have children? Mm-hmm. So if your child comes up to you and is like, hey, Dad, I want to do X, Y, Z. And you go, listen, you're not a priority to me right now. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's different than saying, I don't have the time right now. Mm-hmm. Because you do. You're just making a conscious decision if you should do it or not.
Right. Yep.
That's amazing, man. Like that is a life-changing approach because you can ask people like, what's a long amount of time? And they might say, I don't know, 5 years. Okay, hold your breath. What's the long amount of time now?
It's true. Yeah.
But those are the mental beliefs that we have, man. So being able to make those shifts and make those changes, when you realize that you can take some of the blinders away from people and go, holy smokes, the only asset I actually have is time. That's literally it. Like money is irrelevant. Everything else is irrelevant. I just have time. And it's not linear or parallel or multiplexed. It's an illusion.
Yep.
Right? Because time doesn't speak English. Time speaks no language. It's just always here. And we start studying infinity. You start realizing, man, I'm going to die anyway, so I might as well just do everything.
Yes. Well, and we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And I don't have time. I think that always seemed a little bit shallow. I think if you're saying, look, I am choosing not to do this right now because I'm choosing to do these things, that's a little bit more fair and straightforward and probably accurate. But yeah, I agree with you on the not having time front. I mean, I always try to kind of go at least a level or two down underneath kind of the thing that I want to posit as an excuse. Don't have time. Well, where else could I get the time? Am I doing the most important things? Don't have the money. Okay, well, is there a way to get the money? Is there a way around this? Like, you got to dig down a level or two before you just kind of pass it off. But there is something, I don't know, maybe this is different for different people, but I feel like there's something in too many of us that just wants to hold us down. You know what I mean? Like, just stay in your lane, stay in your rut, just get through, don't make a splash, just stay there, you know? And there's something about culture or mindset or whatever that it can really just keep you there. And it's like, well, if then an opportunity comes along and you say you don't have time, but you're literally watching 2 hours of TV every night. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Exactly, man. It's an interesting approach because, and I will make sure very clear that your listeners know, I'm not saying that I'm the greatest in the world at this. Like everyone makes excuses. Everyone comes up with things they can or cannot do. But it really ultimately comes down to fear. Because if you remove all of the excuses and I go, why really aren't you doing this? And they're like, well, because really if I do it and then I fail, I have this link that's now judgment.
Yes, I agree with that.
And that's what I'm really afraid of.
Yes.
And when people go that, I'm like, oh, a breath of fresh air. Because
Yes.
that's your transparency.
I do
talk.
agree with that. And this is probably the most accurate definition of why I have not been in the stock market in the last year or year and a half at all, because I do think deep down that everything good leaves or dies.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all have this story, that we'll tell ourselves. And that's one of the stories that I tell myself when I'm in an unhealthy place. And look, it's happened a few times,
Yep.
But I am working through that and actually getting just started a 3-month coaching thing to kind of work on that thing, because that's not a good mindset. But if I think about why have I not put any money in the stock market in the last year or 18 months at all, it's probably that.
What about ever though? Have you done ever?
Oh yeah, I did decent in it for a period of time. Yeah. So no, I'm not opposed to the stock market,
yeah.
bro. I brought you here to learn more about it. That's
Totally.
one of the things I wanted to learn.
That's so cool, man.
But
so
I
cool.
just, as we were talking about some of the mindset stuff, and then I don't know if there's some part of me that's wanting to justify why I'm not in it right now. I will say this. One of the things that I've grown in is I have grown to become very protective of my focus and energy, and that I'm not ashamed of. I think that's actually a very good trait.
Absolutely.
So right now I'm very focused on a very particular thing, and now's not a good time to be spending 1 or 2 hours a day. I know it doesn't take that much. Trying to sort of like get back into other things, whatever it may be. I'm not even reading many books right now, because I want to be focused. So
it could be hockey, it could be working out, it could be jiu-jitsu, literally anything.
Yeah.
And that's fair though, because the other thing too, Kent, is the amount of people that will not only admit that, but have thought that through long enough where they can go, this is why.
Yeah.
We're talking the smallest percent of the earth imaginable.
Unfortunately, you're probably right.